In the #1 spot, and well, I gotta say, I love this game's team name, Orc Chop Games. Hello, my darlings. It's David again for the GDWC, and I'm back with yet another entry in our top 10 games per country list. Every week, I'll go through GDWC submitted games for a specific country and figure out which ones are the best so I can tell you about them. And of course, this is my list, so if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up here on Twitter. So for this week, it was an easy choice. I've been getting a lot of comments on different videos for the Philippines. And I recognize Cedric's name as well. He's an active member of our Discord community. And hey, I'll actually come back to Cedric a little bit later in the video. And personally, I have to admit, I couldn't name any games from the Philippines. I didn't know any. And so for me, it's just fun to sort of do some research and find out about what best games come from specific countries. So here are some of the most famous games from the Philippines. Political Animals. Kill the Plumber, a parody of Super Mario Bros. The folklore horror game, Nightfall Escape. The classic Filipino RPG game, Anito, Defend Land Enraged. And if you want me to do a video on your country, drop a comment below. I'm choosing the next videos based on comments. And hey, let me give you a little sneak peek actually as to what games we're going to be seeing today. Alright, well, you know what, forget about that. Let's get into it. Let's actually start the list. Let me show you number 10. Let me start things off with a game that's still really just super early in development. True Lies from Raphael Production is a one-man team. As I said, it's still quite new. The demo acts as almost really as a prototype for True Lies. But already here we can see the influences from Resident Evil and Silent Hill. The game is played completely in first person as you walk through a dense forest, making your way down underground. If you want, you can pick up the demo. It's on itch.io. It's short, but it does show off a great foundation for the full game. Next up, we've got the top-down shooter Xanders Watch from Zed Games. The hook here is that the game takes place in a time loop. It's very reminiscent of games like Hotline Miami, where you need to memorize the level layout as well as the enemy placement so that you can take out all of the enemies and then proceed. And you'll need to be quick on your reflexes because the enemies shoot to kill and you can only take one hit. And what's fun too is that you got a number of skills to help you out in tough situations, like you can speed up time or slow down time. The game was created for a game jam, and hey, remember when I told you that remember Cedric? I had no idea he created the game until I recognized the same avatar on his YouTube page. So it's always cool to see some of our active community members making great games. In 8th place, we've got the ultra-stylized action platformer game Trance. In Trance, you make your way through varying levels as you hack and slash through enemies in your way. And as you make your way through the game, you'll unlock new abilities that make you wonder how you managed even without them before. Classic abilities like double jump and wall slide. And the game is really tough too. You'll often die from either the enemies or just environmental traps. And I have to say that I'm really in love with the art style. It reminds me of Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy, just with a sepia tone filter. Trance was released just earlier this year on Steam, so you can go pick up this short but grueling challenge. Next up, we've got the easy to learn but really hard to master game, Blindbox, by the solo dev team of Heavenward Games. And what's even crazier is that this is their first game. Simply put, you need to shoot colored boxes into their matching colored doors. Simple enough, right? But the game slowly starts increasing the number of boxes until it becomes almost unmanageable. But you can activate different skills to help you out, like the slow down time or this green bumper at the bottom of the stage. It's really a great arcade type of game where you want to keep playing to see how high of a score you can pull off. And with the coins that you collect, you can buy new skins to keep the next round fresh. Give it a shot, it's available now on Steam. In the #6 spot, we've got the Unruly Delivery Company, a top-down arcade racing game, I guess? The game is played out in 2 phases. During the day, you go around picking up food from different restaurants, bringing them to people's homes as fast as possible. But you have to be careful not to hit the pedestrians or other cars, cause, well, you'll lose money. During phase 2, however, it's nighttime, and you need to bring people back to their homes. And the best part of nighttime is that everyone around you are actually zombies. So the game rewards you for running over the zombies. Unruly Delivery Company feels like a mix of classic GTA with Crazy Taxi. And what's fun is that the game is played in just a few minute rounds. The game is brand new, it came out just a few months ago, and it's totally free to play. But there is a bit of a catch. You have to download the Opera GX web browser, but it's totally worth it. Plus there's a whole bunch of other free games there to check out as well. Alright, we're halfway through the list, and our next game is Ash Legends from P-Cubed VR. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I like to complain that I still don't have a VR headset, so I'll admit that I haven't yet played Ash of Legends, but the gameplay videos and reviews have already been positive. So the game is played as a first-person VR tower defense game where you build your base, place traps, and use weapons yourself to defend against enemy hordes. It's quite a unique take on the tower defense game. The game is available now as well in early access on Steam with regular updates to the game's development. In 4th place, we've got Garrison, Archangel by Project GA. This mech fighter is self-described as a love letter from the Philippines to Japan's robot anime, which is just perfect. In this fast-paced mech combat game, you take control over a fully customizable mech. You can change really just about every aspect of the mech, including weapons, so you get to choose between swords or rockets and even more. The game features a bunch of modes outside the main mission objectives as well. You can play arcade mode, survival, or horde mode. And best of all, you don't have to play alone. You can play up to 4 friends. And you can find out for yourself too. The game and demo are both out now on Steam. Alright, I have to admit, our top 3 kind of take things up a notch. Let's start here with our number 3 spot, Immortal Tactics, War of the Eternals. This beautiful pixel art tactics game wants to change things up when it comes to tactics games. It's quite different from your typical strategy game, which makes it great for newcomers to the genre, and brings something new to the table for people like me who are already big fans of the tactics genre. Matches are fast-paced, played out in a top-down level with environmental traps just all over the place. You control a team with different classes and abilities like the starter group, which is the mage, archer, and knight, as you plan out how to take out the different mythical creatures around you. The game is planned to release in just a few months, in July in fact, so if you're into tactics games, go give them a wishlist. I'm telling you, things just keep getting better, especially with our number 2 spot, Volunteer: The Ascension. Volunteer is a Metroidvania game in an absolutely gorgeous open world. As you explore around in this action combat game, you'll meet the 22 fated bonds, and by helping them in return, they will also help you unravel your hidden powers, helping you discover more about your origins. The game is highly reminiscent of games like Ori and the Blind Forest, and while it's still in development, it's easy to see the promise just from the music and art alone. This is yet another one worth a wishlist. In the number 1 spot, and well, I gotta say, I love this game's team name, Orc Chop Games, and their game, Goblinstone. In this turn-based RPG, you play as a group of ragtag goblins, the last of your kind in fact. You've been hunted for generations, and now it's time to fight back and change the fate of these little green guys. And over time, you can build out a breeding lair, which you'll need because your goblins won't live forever. So their ancestors must continue the lineage, and you can help shape them with different classes like Raider, Guard, or Shaman. And best of all, the game is beautifully narrated.
Perhaps their journey will be worth following.
And they've also got some pretty big talent tied to the game. The music is composed by Peter McConnell, who's worked on games like Grim Fandango and Hearthstone. And if you've been with GDWC for a while, you'll know that this game was heavily featured in 2021, having won the fan favorite vote during their week. Goblinstone is still in development, but you can pick up the demo now on Steam.
The road ahead will not be easy.
And so those were my favorite GDWC submitted games from the Philippines. Let me know which one was your favorite by commenting down below. And don't forget as well, you can subscribe to us so you don't miss any upcoming episodes or any other videos that I post here on YouTube. And I have to say that I really appreciate anyone who's watched here to the end. Until next time.